Welcome to the Playmakers Insight. Today, this is a follow-up video based on the video that I made during the week. So as I've promised that I will come back with a follow-up video to touch on things like should we copy the winners, and I'll touch on the technical report by FIFA, because FIFA always gives this technical report after every World Cup, whether it's a juniors World Cup or the seniors World Cup, right? So I'll touch on those two things, and then I'll see if I still have time to touch on other things as well, right? So number one, should we copy the winners, right? Whether it be your Europeans, South Americans, or Asians, right? The thought of copying someone else doesn't even sit well with me. The thought of copying someone else doesn't even sit well with me. I believe that we are more than capable of becoming a global football a nation. Yeah, I believe that we've got the talent, we've got the personnel to take the world, right? I truly believe that. The thing is, as I've said on the previous video, that I don't think we are organized, right? I don't think we're organized to do that. We're not organized at the moment to do that, right? Because when you look at the top football nations, right, all of them, they've got things in common, right? So let's say for example, we look at Spain. They've got their national playing philosophy, they've got their playing identity, they've got all these things that are put in place to make sure that their football gets to that level, right? To make sure that whatever tournament they go for, they're going for a win. They're not there to test waters. As South Africans, I like to say to people that sometimes we forget that we are new in the space of global football, because I think we got into the space when 1992. Yeah, so from that it tells you that we are still new on this thing, because there are countries that have qualified for a World Cup more than 10 times, right? But they haven't won the World Cup. They've never won the World Cup. And here we are still babies, but hey, as soon as we don't progress, hey, we complain and do all of those stuff. So at least what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to complain and come with what I think would be the solutions, right? So it's very important to have a national playing philosophy, right? So under the national playing philosophy, you will have the players, right? You'd have the coaches, you'd have the competition, right? So on the players, it's very important to get the type of players that you want for the playing style. And it now we're approaching the part of having a playing identity. So that playing identity, you need to develop players to be suitable for that style of play, the style of play that you want to be identified about. So that's why I'd say a playing identity. So it's these players. So you look at these players based on these 4 factors of performance. It's the 4 main factors of performance. Right now, under the CAF coaching education, there's four factors of performance. There's a mental, physical, technical, and tactical. And then social is the supporting, right? So on these factors, factor by factor, you need to know what type of a player are you looking for. Mentally, what type of a player do you want in the mental side, right? Physically, you need to say the type of attributes that you want in that part of the physical, because as we've discussed in the previous video, that we on the southern part of Africa, we don't have the luxury of having very tall players whereby you can get a team 11 players are tall players or 10 players are tall players. There's only one short guy or average height guy, right? So even you look from LFA up to the PSL, you'd always find the average height, right? So this is one of the attributes. We need to work with that. So yeah, and on the technical, we need these attributes that you want from these players. And the tactical as well, it's the same thing. And then when you go to the coaches side, it's the syllabus of the coaches, because now you need to train coaches to be competent so that they can nurture and train these players, right, to instill and educate these players to what we want them to be. So you need a very, very, very good coaching education that's going to make your coaches to be very competent. So we're not only talking coaches that are coaching the academy level or the professional side. We're talking amateur as well, as far as from grassroots, LFA, up to the what you call the professional leagues, right? Because as I've said as well, that amateur football is the mother of professional football. So you need this syllabus that is going to be based on our players, of what we want, our training methodology, our training philosophy. It needs to be there. It needs to talk to that player so that we can produce the playing identity, right? So this philosophy, the national philosophy, covers all of that. And then we go to competition. We need strong local leagues, right? And the competition, youth competitions, to make sure that we prepare these players. Because the training on its own, it's not going to be enough. They need to engage in high quality friendlies, leagues, competitions, and all of that. Hence, it's very important for the national team to qualify for these World Cup tournaments at youth level, right? So as well, with our teams to engage in other tournaments outside of South Africa, or if there are other teams outside to come and play here, we engage in those friendlies. So it's very, very, very important in that sense to make sure that we combine all of these things to make sure we produce top players, right? Because one of the concerns from Calvin Johnson was that his main concern was 80% of that team, or 85% of that team, if not 90, must say 85% to 90, was that they are not starters in their own teams, their own local teams. That under 20 team that was in the World Cup, they say that they are not starters. So now here they are, they find themselves competing with the other players that are playing in top academies. Some of them already, they've started their careers at senior football. They've got minutes in the Champions League. So, and most of these teams, you see continuity from the under 17s to that under 20. So you find that 80% of these teams, they've been rolling together from at the age of 14 or 15 to that stage. Now they're in the World Cup now. You see? So it's something that is rare for us, because you find that even in that under 20 team, that some of them, it was their first time in the national team, in the under 20. We discover them so late, right? So both of these things, right, the continuity of these players, because other national teams, what they do is, even though they know that the aim is the World Cup under 20, but they try and do as much work as possible from the under 14 teams once they're there. And you would find that with the under 17, the coach of the under 14 is the assistant coach to the under 14, to the under 17s, is in that setup. And the head coach of the under 17 is the assistant to the under 20s, so that to make sure the continuity goes right up to the to the top, right? So it's it's that part from the one that I was saying, that we are unique. We shouldn't copy anyone. We should put these things in place to make sure that our LFAs are very strong. If we can get the amateur football going and we get them to be strong, then that would be the first step to the right direction, so that even the players that are going to these academies, at least that the academies are getting the best of the best from the amateur football, also from the LFAs. They're getting the best of the best because they've been trained, they've been nurtured in a good way, right? So the other ones that I want to touch on is the technical report that is given by FIFA all the time. What you find in that report that is common amongst the World Cup winners, you'd find that they've got their own national philosophy, they've got their own training methodology that speaks to their players, their coaches, everyone. It's for them, right? You find that through in that team, there are 4 or 5 players that are playing in big leagues, and they are star players in their teams. In that league, they've got a big impact in those leagues, right? And you find that their teams, their local teams, the big teams, let's say, for example, for us, it should be Orlando Pirates, Sundowns, and Kaizer Chiefs, right? So they are doing very well. So this is what you always find. Or the other factor is that in the academies, when they calculate, let's say in the last before going maybe to the World Cup, to that World Cup, they would measure and say, in this year, from year 2020 to 2008 up to 2015, right, we've produced great players from our academies that have went out of their country or played in the country for big teams, or others, they went to England, France, Spain, what, and they went in those countries to play for big teams. Now with that, they came back to the national team, and they've produced magic. They made us win the World Cup. So this is what they count as the revolutionary of the academies. This is what element that they look for. They say the revolution of the academies. Yeah. So the academies as well, they played a very big role. As I've said, that South Africa is all of us. Is all of us. You should do your little thing in your little corner to make sure that you contribute to this thing. So yeah, so I think with those things in place, we can become a powerful football nation. I think with those things we can become a very powerful football nation. So, and listen to the guys that have dealt with these things before, you know, guys that have set these national philosophies and training methodology for South African players. Because you know that the fact that you can't run away from the Transnet School of Excellence, this is what people don't know. The Transnet School of Excellence have produced more players to professional football than any other academy in South Africa. They have, and once you look at it, even your Relay Mofokeng, they coming from the Transnet School of Excellence. Or Vet Boy, they come from there. As Lama out or Mabena, Lower Sundowns, they coming from there. Because the Sundowns, they go and buy players from the Transnet School of Excellence and take them in. So even other clubs as well, they do that. They take players from the Transnet School of Excellence, and because Transnet have got this thing of once you done your matric and then you don't have a team that wants you, then you're not their problem anymore. They only deal with these players that are from I don't know which grade which grade they study, but they finish in the matric. So they only start with that, and then once you're done matric, then you're no longer their problem. So these teams, other teams, they take these players from Transnet School of Excellence. So it tells you about how lazy are we in terms of long-term player development, right? It tells you that the people that have got a model to develop South African players, because you don't just take a player from elsewhere and then place him into DDC and say this is my product, and then someone else has taken this player from the age of 13 up until he was 18, and then you say you've taken him when he was 18, and then DDC, and then BSL, and then you say, this is my product. Yeah, you did your part here and there, but the person that have nurtured this talent and see it through is elsewhere. So yeah, this video was about that. I'll try and post the other documents as well to support what I'm talking about the technical report and what World Cup winners have in common. I'll try and create that document. Yeah, so you know what to do. Please support my content to make sure that I keep on give you the football content. There's so much more that I want to share, and like, comment, share the content, and subscribe to the channel so that to make sure that I bring you the content. And once you subscribe, you will have a cool benefit as the subscriber, not anyone else. Only my subscribers will have cool benefits. I've got something for you as my subscriber. I've got leke things, but I don't want to mention them because there's there's jail, but I've got cool stuff for my subscribers. Salute.